Rereading your notes over and over again is truly the worst way to learn. I'm going to explain why, and more importantly, I'm going to reveal how the best students really organize their day. How the best students organize their days. Fascinating research has been conducted on nearly 700 medical students with a balanced distribution between men and women. The goal? To identify the learning habits that truly distinguish the best. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are they the best because they study a lot, or do they study a lot because they're the best? That's an excellent question, and honestly, both are true. But what we're interested in today is simple. What are the habits that these elite students use consistently, regardless of their background? The research has identified at least 10 study habits of high-performing students. I'm going to focus on the first 5 or 6, because these are the ones that really make all the difference. Tip number 1, schedule your study sessions. First thing that's absolutely crucial. The best students schedule their study time. They don't tell themselves, I'll study when I have time. No, they literally block out time slots in their calendar. Why is this so important? Because it allows them to eliminate distractions. And that's the second essential point. These students are radical with distractions, phone turned off and put away, not just on silent mode, no, completely out of sight. They isolate themselves. And listen to this, they study alone. I know many of you like to study in groups, and that can work for some, but the data is clear. The highest performing students work solo. They warn their friends, their family, during these hours, I'm not available, period. And here's something interesting. They study about 3 to 4 hours per day, but not all at once. They divide it into 2 or 3 sessions. They do this at least 5 days a week. Now, here's a tip that will surprise you. The best students teach what they learn to their classmates. I can already hear you. Wait, if we're competing with others, why would I give them a free advantage? Listen carefully. Students who take the time to teach what they've learned to their peers achieve significantly better results than others. Why? Because teaching is the best way to test and truly master the material. Tip number 4. Test yourself constantly. And this brings us to the most powerful tip of all, testing. If you only remember one thing from this video, let it be this. Self-testing is the most effective learning method ever scientifically demonstrated. I know, we see tests as an evaluation, but in reality, tests are the most powerful tool for building, retaining, and anchoring your knowledge. The historic 1917 study. Let me tell you about a classic study conducted in 1917. And elementary school children had to read biographies. The researchers divided the children into 2 groups. The first group reread the biographies over and over again, multiple times. The second group read the biographies only once. Then they simply tested themselves by trying to recall the information. Who was this person? What did they do? Who were they married to? What role did they play in history? They asked themselves these questions mentally, digging through their memory. Now think about it for a moment. You'd think that reading something 3 or 4 times gives you an advantage over someone who only read it once, right? Well, the results were absolutely astounding. The children who read the biography only once, then tested themselves mentally several times, vastly outperformed those who reread the text over and over again. In other words, rereading your notes 10 times is far less effective than reading them once, then forcing yourself to recall them in your head. It's not just about memorizing more information. The accuracy of recall also improves dramatically. Why testing is so powerful? At first, I was skeptical, but by exploring other research, I understood something fundamental. Self-testing isn't just a way to evaluate what you know. It's a learning tool in its own right. It's what actually integrates information into your neural circuits. The more you test yourself on a subject, the better you perform. And listen, even if you don't succeed perfectly on these tests, as long as you can see the correct answers and compare them with yours, you'll improve your retention. What really matters isn't how many times you're exposed to the material. It's being exposed to the content with attention and concentration, testing yourself on that content afterwards, repeating this testing process 2 or 3 times. That's what locks information into your brain. That's what creates lasting and deep changes in your neural circuits. That's what we call neural encoding. The more you test yourself, the better your long-term retention will be. Conclusion. So let's recap quickly. Schedule your study sessions. Eliminate all distractions. Teach what you learn. Test yourself constantly. Prioritize testing over passive rereading. If you apply these 5 tips, I guarantee your results will skyrocket. So stop rereading your notes like a zombie and start truly learning intelligently. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next studies that will help you succeed better. See you soon for the next video, and you can find the previous ones on the screen that's currently rotating.